When we sent our troops to Somalia, I was a member of the National Security Council. At that time, as you know, there had been attacks of our border towns of Mandera, Wajir, Liboi, Garissa, and also there were attacks in Lamu, Mombasa, and so on. So we said that we needed to secure our borders. That's why we called it Operation Linda Inchi. And we are going to be there just to defend our borders. That was the reason why we did not seek the parliamentary approval. When it became necessary to deploy our troops to pursue Al-Shabaab into Somalia and to go and liberate the town of Kismayu, I had to go to Parliament to seek parliamentary approval, which I did. But it then was for a limited period of time, disengage, demobilize, disengage, reduce the powers of Al-Shabaab, and then come back to Kenya. It was not supposed to be indefinite. Now our troops have now become part of AMISOM in Somalia without parliamentary approval. That is actually against the constitution. So what is happening right now there is not constitutional. The government needs to seek proper parliamentary approval, but that issue needs to be debated. For how long are our troops going to remain in Somalia, given the fact that we are a bordering country? As you know, in the past, we were not allowed to send our troops to Somalia because we share a common border. That's why countries like Uganda, Burundi were the ones which were allowed to bring their troops into Somalia. That is a practice elsewhere. But you know also, this issue is not unique to Kenya. In the US, this issue is not unique to Kenya. In the US, remember, when they sent their troops to Iraq and Afghanistan, a time was reached when the Americans kept on asking, when are our boys coming out of Iraq? It became a very national issue, a big one, until eventually they had to come up with their timetable for withdrawal of their troops. I don't think that we should be there beyond this year. If you ask me, I would say within 3 months to disengage. First, I would say that we have problems which need to be discussed through dialogue. That's why we're talking about dialogue. Look, you had problems in Marsabit, the Gabras fighting the Boranas. Then you have the problems in Mandera and Wajir between the Garis and the Godias. You come to Tanariba, you have the Pokomos and the Ormas. You come down the coast, you have got the indigenous Mijikendas and the upcountry people. You come to the Rift Valley, you have the Maasais and Kikuyus, the Kalenjins and Kikuyus and Kisis. You come to Baringo, you have got the Njems, the Tugans and the Pokots, Turkanas and the Pokots and the Samburus. So you have got problems all over the country. How do you create a cohesive society where there's tolerance, where people live together in peace and harmony? Tanariba is flaring and Lamu. What has happened is Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility. The Americans say it was Al-Shabaab. The British say it was Al-Shabaab. The French say it is Al-Shabaab. This government tells us, no, it was not Al-Shabaab, it is local, that they know them, and that there was also political incitement to it. Now you're asking the government, if you know them, why don't you catch them? Why don't you pin them down, and so that we know who they are? You are talking about me being blamed. There's nothing more ridiculous than that. And everybody knows Even those making those kind of utterances don't believe they are what they are uttering. See, they look so ridiculous by saying that it is court that is responsible for the killings in Tana River and Lamu and so on and so forth. I think the time has come for this government to be serious with what it's doing, because it is a matter of life and death to certain families. It is so painful to see mothers weeping, showing people where their children, their husbands were killed. And yet somebody is playing with their security. We have said that we are not above the law. If it is us who are responsible, why don't you charge us in the court of law? We are ready. We were ready yesterday. Come and take us to court. But don't continue to fool Kenyans and play with the lives of the people of this country. That shows that this government is not serious. It's a government of playboys, people who are not ready to govern the country. And that's the reason why they are applying the country to this kind of chaos that we're having. Kenyans lost faith in IEBC because of the way they conducted themselves during the last elections and the way they have continued to conduct themselves. The IEBC is in court. Several of their senior officials are in court for different issues. And 6 months ago, last year, when they did an opinion poll, 75% of Kenyans approved of IEBC. Just last month, by Synovate Ipsos survey, it had dropped to 15% and dropping. Now, how can you have an electoral commission with a less than 15% approval rating conducting free and fair elections? People don't believe in them, in the IEBC. So the sooner this issue is dealt with, the better, because we are going to have elections in 2017. Preparations for the elections for 2017 must start now. People must begin to be registered today, not tomorrow. They must begin all those preparations today. They gave the excuse that they bungled the last elections because there was little time. That's the reason why the equipment did not work, where there were no batteries, where the people did not even have the numbers to call, and so on and so forth, all that. Now, we must begin the preparations today. You cannot wait until tomorrow.